Welcome back, everybody. 20 past 11, and it's time now for breakfast at Tiffany's. 4,000 hours of online language tutoring experience with Romana Sustar. So just to introduce Romana, she is a multilingual digital marketeer. She's a tutor, and she's also a journalist. She has been teaching languages for over 20 years, and at the moment she's teaching at the School of Slavonic and Eastern European Studies and at the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office. Since 2017, she's been a CIOL Council Member, and she has recently become the chair of the German Language Society for us as well. So wonderful to have you, Romana, and welcome to the conference.
So thank you very much. First of all, thank you for this opportunity to present. As a marketing professional, thumbs up for great organization from your marketing side. Deb, you're up and team, great job. And so I'll start sharing my screen. I am excited. This is my first CIOL conference, so I hope I'll do it justice. So let's go. I hope you can see my screen. If not, then please shout.
We can see you fine, Romana.
Okay, beautiful. So breakfast at Tiffany's, 40,000 hours of online language and tutoring experience. I have 40 minutes to share with you this amazing experience, but not to waste much time to speak about myself and so on. I created yesterday a quick landing page for you, which is here. I mean, that's really, private invitation only for our dear attendees. It's here, it's romanasustar.com. I uploaded my slides, so you don't need to write anything. Everything what you need is here. So here it's a few words about myself. And at the end, if you have any wishes or requirements or questions, you can fill out this contact form. Regarding contact form, if you are under 20 or in your early 20s, I need you. You were born with, this digital stuff and everything, so you're good. Please contact me. If you are slightly over, 25 and so on, plus to my age, great thing, I would like to network with you. If you are my age or maybe even older, please get in touch because you have an amazing gift. You know definitely more than I do because of, life experience and everything. And I have to say, if you think that you are too old for digital stuff and so, forget it. You have this great gift of knowledge. And maybe you just lack a bit of digital stardust, how I call it, and I can give you a lot of that in case of need. So that's that. Now let's go back to the presentation. So breakfast at Tiffany's, let's start. I start even my timing because I tend to miss the time all the time. So let's go. Here. First of all, let's go through agenda. As John introduced me already, I know a few things about me. Yes, I am teacher, I am digital marketeer and freelance journalist. What we will discuss, we will speak about shift from in-person to online face-to-face tuition. I started teaching virtually when I was super young and, I had chalk and I had heavy rucksack full of copies for my students. I spent, I think everybody from my generation, I'm 44, we are real technicians. We know how to repair the copy machine, which was, stuck quite a lot of the time. But obviously this shifted. Then we'll speak about platforms. We'll distinguish between corporate and let's say private ones or startups, do's and don'ts very quickly, and, about planning, executing, and, what actually one needs, in my opinion. Points, my digital life. I don't know if you knew, but if you start studying IT at one of the UK universities, there is a subject called my digital life. So I said, no, that's perfect because we all have our digital lives. Then we have online teaching platforms and requirements, super important. Then my beautiful Tiffany method. And this is a real story of success. If you're new, where do I begin? If you're not new, we can compare. Where did you start maybe? Conclusion, Q&A. Good. My digital life and how it all started. When I was, after university, I studied languages and dramatic arts. and art history. So my first job was, I was an actress. I was a small fish in even smaller pond in provincial Austria, thinking big things about my life. And of course, then one day everything didn't really work. So I decided to leave my little village or town and embrace the world. And of course, I also needed to change my profession. So I went from this artistic persona to more, business orientated young professional. Obviously, starting in a call center as the majority, and then it's developed. And it went up really good. And then I decided, this is not for me. I want to do really something useful and meaningful in this life. So I took a job which was offered for me by the South African government to work on agricultural projects in rural South African areas to basically help people, to educate them, how to be sustainable with their limited, let's say, capabilities, because they weren't educated because of the systems before. So I was really happy. I found my mission. I went to South Africa with the team, and life was great until, it went down again because, the currency went down, the political situation was not comfortable, sources were changing, and my saddest month was definitely February 2013. It's Valentine's, it's my birthday, everything, and I needed to leave. So I came back to London, to a flat, to just find out that we had a leakage in the ceiling, and everything was just bad. And I thought, oh my gosh, I have to start from the beginning again. And so I did. One of the things where I always go back when everything goes wrong is definitely my roots. And my roots are in teaching languages. So I said, fine, I'll do that. I speak quite a lot of languages and I teach 5. And then I wrote, emails, letters. I wanted to be this teacher again. And I got just the rejections because I didn't understand that in London it doesn't work like it works in my safe, town in Austria or similar. And I was forced to search, to educate. So I found out, it's 2013. Obviously, here in London, people learn languages via online. And and I found the platform, which is called Lingos. It doesn't exist today anymore. I'll show you how it looked like before. And I had my first student, his name was Harry. I changed tiny his name because I don't want to speak about, my students and reveal their stories. Harry, he was British, not from London, from surroundings, and he wanted to learn German. So, I was really excited. It was Skype. Skype was kind of the thing at the time. So, I was really, sitting, okay, let's go, Harry. He said he's a lorry driver for a known chocolate brand. And he had this passion for German. We spent quite some years together in the middle, let's say at the end of the second year, he opened himself and he told me what is his real reason. His real reason was, to impress a lady who he saw in a special magazine. And he met her and she told him in German, "Du musst Deutsch lernen." And Harry said, "All right, I'll do it." And that was the story. But his story is so beautiful that it could be, converted in any film or similar. He will forever be my special client because he was my first one. Then I noticed that geolocation plays a really important role when you teach online. What does this mean? Sure, you can teach whoever you want to, but whoever this person needs to be positioned in an area where is internet. And that took me again back to my African experience, where I started when we were there in places where it's nothing, and we needed to purchase and install satellites to get some internet, and this internet connection wasn't fast. And imagine you are there in the middle of nowhere among banana trees in banana fields and poof, satellite, because without it you're cut off the world, nothing's possible. Even electricity, it's privileged sometimes, which is another story for another presentation maybe. On the other hand, you have places in Wales where you don't have good internet connection. And even, these wonderful, buildings in London where you have, Foreign Office and so on, they had issues with internet connections because the walls were very thick. So geolocation is important and very significant. And then my beautiful story, and this presentation is devoted to her. It's actually Tiffany. Tiffany was my student. I got a bit bored by teaching, so I needed challenges, and I was asked, would you like to teach for another university? I teach at university part-time, and I said, yeah, sure, who and what, and they didn't want to tell me. So I was, why don't you want to tell me? Who is the client? I want to know. Then I found out, okay, these are now these diplomats and future ambassadors, and they have to master a language in 8 to 9 months. So I said, sure, what do you want? Which language is she learning? They said Slovenian. Slovenian is also my language because my father comes from Slovenia. I was just, what? How can you learn Slovenian in 8 to 9 months? That's just not going to happen. But I was curious, so I said, fine, let's try that then. And I'm very grateful for this opportunity as well. Online teaching platforms. As I told you, I started on Lingos. Lingos doesn't exist anymore. That's an example of a startup. If you, let's say today you will have millions of platforms, teachers from everywhere, everybody is great, it's easy, it's super, it's beautiful marketing agenda, but please be very careful with that, especially if it's startup. I had really good reviews on this Lingos platform, like 5 stars and things which you need to show that you are actually all right teacher. And guess what? I can't access that anymore. Why? Because this platform is gone, and I just have some screenshots and things left somewhere in my documents. I don't know even where. All my contacts were gone. So this is one thing. If you are, maybe you're already active on such platforms or you are new, always save reputation. That means, these 5 stars reviews that you're great and so on. Contacts, if possible, and all valuable information, because when this is gone, it's gone and nothing will happen. Then we have LearnLite. LearnLite, it's more corporate platform. As I said, all these slides are in my on this romanasustar.com. If you want to download it, you're welcome to. LearnLite, it's partly connected to Pearson Group. So that means they are super organized, payment is secure. You can get teaching positions, mainly, online only. You are in competition with many other people. And then the payment is something what is good because you get it regularly, but it's not high. And then we have this, let's say, small and focused, rather local companies such as, commercial language training. They are great. I think they're based in Manchester, and they, work with different clients. And, for example, they work with Google and companies like that, but they are very specific, very kind. It's personal contact, so good. I think all 3 platforms are fine. Okay, Lingos not anymore because it doesn't exist, but similar, because they teach you how this part of the business works. Very important. Build a reputation on and off the platform. Don't do the mistake which I did. Great review is gone now, but okay, life goes on. If you start teaching, always ask yourself, is it worth it? Is this really what I want to do? Because you have to invest a little bit in it. Meaning, you need to, you need to have nice background. You need to have good technology. You have to know a few things. You have to spend a lot of time on preparing things. So calculate. I would say yes, it's worth it if you like it and you want to develop. And no, if it's this, oh my God, I need some job. Okay, I'll go teaching. Then don't, because it won't work. And number 5, the one which I also forgot, don't forget about your health. As I'm, starting now to educate myself again, to improve my voice, to know how to protect my voice, because I was totally obsessively teaching 10 hours per day. And guess what? What happened after 3 weeks? I lost my voice. My income. I was so scared. This never happened before to me. And I was like, I wasn't even able to make a tiny sound, like not even that. So my partner needed to call the doctor because I was not able to say anything. And it's a great reminder. Health is the biggest wealth, I would say. But really funny. I found that as a great example. Start where you can, aim for the diamond. So actually, here in London, they really have, this Tiffany and Co section, and also the cafeteria. But let's say when you start, you probably will be able, I compare it with this. Okay, meal deal, it's fine because you have to start somewhere. But, wouldn't be nicer to have breakfast in a place like, Tiffany's. It's possible, but it takes some time. So online teaching requirements, the basics. What are the key elements? Number one, okay, I would even say electricity, but let's say that's given in the world in which we live. Reliable internet connection. When I take new clients on, especially, maybe bigger corporations where they really expect a lot from you, I require a broadband test. I want to know how good is their connection, and obviously I'm making sure that I have my connection and technical stuff sorted. I pay quite a lot for that, but this needs to work. If it doesn't, I look bad, my service look bad, and that's just no-go. It's good to know where your client is with technicalities. A second one, which I think is really important, is preparation. So technical and teaching materials, proper knowledge of the systems that you are using. I'm sure you know that, sometimes when you present, you have a different interface than the one who is, receiving, or let's say your student. You have to know both sides, because I guarantee you, platforms, they let you down. It doesn't matter which one they all do, because it's like that, especially when it is, oh, we are so great, we have new update, everything will be better. Guess what? The first week, nothing works. So, and especially if you have certain clients who maybe don't embrace technology that well, you have to be the one who says, don't worry, I'll sort it for you, and then you have to know. That's I think this is the most important one. Always have materials prepared, because online, you can improvise in class with here and there, but online it's this focus. I see you, you see me. You'll know if I'm not prepared. And I'll be just, type something, doing something. Yes, you can play around for a few minutes, but not for 1 hour and a half. The other one, number 3, I say, it's admin. Again, my biggest mistake was very clear financial model and attendance rules. People tend to, book your lessons and say, oh, sorry, I can't today. I'll do next week. And if you rely on that financially, that's a disaster. So it's good to have, let's say, blocks. Okay, 10 lessons, I don't know, cost, let's say, £200. Okay, if you don't want to attend or you can't attend, you have to tell me 48 hours in advance. That's a good one, 48 hours in advance, and if not, the lesson's lost. Otherwise, you'll have courses or lessons going on forever. But my mistake with some students. And this attendance rules goes in it, and please be careful with the GDPR legislation. That's so strict. If if people are educated in that, they notice you or not, they will use you, and you will end paying a lot of money. For example, in our, I work for a big corporation, and for webinars and conferences, we are not using Zoom, for example. They have something else, I'll show you what. Because Zoom, they're not even using it for smaller events, because it's, in their opinion, they're saying it's not GDPR safe. Because if I am on Zoom, I can still see who is attending, also as a participant. And, that's one thing to observe if you are dealing with, let's say, delicate customers. And 4, always have a backup policy. What do I do if internet breaks down? What do I do if, I don't know, my student can't switch on the platform? Always this backup. In my case, for example, if internet doesn't work, I use my my phone quite often because I now have this unlimited data. It's important for me. Or if I know people quite well and we have good relationship, I kindly ask them, to postpone the lesson, which is not good to do more than once if possible. Or basically that's it. You don't have anything else. So if we go here, we go now here to compare the platforms. I deliberately took Zoom because we know it, and I'll show you later on slide 6, 7, 8, you will see why. On 24, Blue Jeans and Teams. What I put in this forum as well, it's top webinar platform software. I put it here for you just to compare a few. When I think in this age, we really need to be educated. We have to know which platforms, what does what is expensive, what looks good if I work with, delicate corporate, people with lots of money. What are they using? What are the students using? What's the most, friendly one, and so on. So please read that here, not now, but later. And I'll show you. I selected a few examples for you. The first one, OK Teams. According to Gartner, this is one of these marketing advertising companies. This is, Microsoft is the best. Personally, I don't think so, but we use it at university. We use it, at marketing job and everything. Teams was disaster because in my class I have various, students. Some are, capable, to use technology. Some are not. Those who are not hated Teams, and we spent like really valuable time, which should be used for teaching, for sorting out Teams and connecting and seeing. So, yeah, Teams good, maybe for jobs and stuff, not for groups with different knowledge. Sorry, I now have to go back here. So Teams, we did Teams. Now we go to On24. On24, it's, for example, a platform which is really good for corporations. Licenses are quite expensive. What does it do? It's one of those platforms, with catches all the data. Let's say you have an event. You organize the event, you invite 200 people, and let's say 170 registered. What will happen? They will get, beautifully, crafted emails, which you can obviously, adjust to your own needs. They'll get 2 reminders 2 days before, 2 hours before. They will get, thank you messages, thank you that you were attending, plus on-demand recording of the session, so they can watch whatever this webinar or share it. And let's say they registered, but they didn't attend. They will get this, oh, we are so sorry you missed this webinar, but here is the recording. So it's great for corporations. Or let's say if you have huge client base, because it looks really professional. This will be the platform, so you can adjust everything. I took that from our company. It was South American one. And you have these slides. You have, the speaker showing Q&A, short CV. Maybe there are some documents, or you have 1,000 things to engage with people. Then what else will happen? So at the end, you will get a report with everything what the person did on the platform. Did they, if you had polling questions, did they click? What did they click? When did they click? Where did they come from? Did they ask a question? Everything. So it's good if you have huge customer base and money. Otherwise, maybe for later. The only thing with this one is that, yes, your attendees can listen to you, can pose you questions, but only in writing, so they can't speak back. I like it. I work with it daily. It's really good. Another one which I found, I would say this is competitor to Zoom. I don't know if you know it. It's called Blue Jeans. 0 download browser-based meetings for everyone. I'm really tempted to start using this, but I won't, and I tell you why not. I might, get some free trials or try to get it from somebody else because I like the name. It has really good certificates from Vienna. So Austrian quality, good quality, just saying. So this, works for me. And meetings that are quick and easy to join, I like it, but I'm not sure if my, clients would like it too. Then you see, it's quite affordable. You can see they have platform in several languages. So this one caught my eye, and I'm really, like a normal human. Yeah, I like Blue Jeans, the name. It was why Blue Jeans? What is that? And then I started to research. So I like it. This is the report from. I don't know if you know it. It's from Gartner, so it's their famous Magic Quadrant for Unified Communications as a Service worldwide. Look at these statistics a little bit. This was done in March 2020, so it's 1 year old. I'm really, really, really interested what will happen in the new report, because do you see Zoom here? I don't know, but you see Zoom, it's in the leaders. I'm sure the Zoom's position changed. It's a beautiful report, read it if you're interested in that. And so which digital platform is the best? The one your clients feel comfortable with and it's easy to use. So go with the flow, it's my suggestion. I would say in this case, for me and my clients, is definitely Zoom. Everybody knows it, everybody speaks about it, and it's not complicated. Now we come quickly to Tiffany method. That's Tiffany, actually. I think for me, she is my diamond. The biggest challenge that I ever experienced in this language teaching. I was totally into it. I think that as a teacher, you succeed if your students succeed. If they fail, I personally feel I failed as well. So I was really, let's do that one. Tiffany method is from A1 to C1 plus. It was online method, but not in the beginning, because this, our class, this started in late 2019. We all know what happened in 2020, so it went online. Obviously, with her, I learned a lot about Slovenian language and teaching. We had virtually 5 days lessons, 7 hours per day, 3 hours with the teacher, 4 at home. We were 2 teachers. I was the main one. I worked 4 days with her. And in between was my colleague who is, she is professional in didactic. She works with kids. She did a great job to break this really, really strict routine. We had 8 weeks per level, so A2, B1, and so on. What I focused on was not only grammar and stuff, it's also to get the feeling of the country and focused immersion. I think in this method, you need to be closely connected to the country, even genetically involved in it to do really a great job. I'll show you why. Additionally, she joined some other lessons so that she had feeling what other students are doing in other classes. And we had relaxation purposes breakfast meetings the week before the exams. What Tiffany method does for you, it's guaranteed results, which, obviously respond to CEFR. Let's move quickly further. I can't. So, Tiffany method, in short, is a 9-month online method to ensure that a diplomat or executive is capable of representing their country or company abroad in a local language. So this is her on her big day. A smooth integration into a new society and culture, very important, especially for smaller nations such as Slovenia. If you don't speak language, you are not, you're gone. And the acceptance by the local community and media because they have successfully mastered the language. She was invited to the national television, and they were saying, "Yeah, we heard how beautiful you speak and stuff." When I watched that, I cried. My heart was, yes, thank you. I was enjoying that probably as much as she was, and that's really success of the client or student in this case. Wow, breaks my heart. So how much does it cost? Okay, there are 5 numbers for sure. So you can type in, and if we have time, at the end we'll discuss. It's not 1 in the front. It's much higher, but it's a good one. So therefore, diamond, Tiffany, it's a jewel. Then you say, okay, listen, it's nice to listen to your stories and everything, but okay, I don't know, where should I start? To get an idea how this online learning works and everything, I really suggest you, that you Google a little bit and find some free courses. For example, futurelearn.com offers a digital learning toolkit resources for successful online teaching. You have people talking about it. This one is quite good because people from different universities chat, and you will also learn the buzzwords. For example, in the past, if you were writing curriculum for a course, you were just, teacher writing a curriculum. But today, you are a learning designer. You are educational innovator. So learn the buzzwords, because this, will also show. If you say, oh yeah, I'm just an online teacher, yeah, fine, £5, you get your meal deal in Tesco. But if you say learning designer, educational innovator and stuff, it's marketing. I know it's really, for my generation, no, it's just, Jesus, what happened? But that's how it is. For example, in this, Future to Learn, they always start with some polling questions, which is super engaging. So what do you think is the biggest challenge in online teaching? And okay, I'll copied my result. I said it's keeping students interested and engaged. So as you can see, the majority agreed with me, or I agreed with them. This is true, in my opinion. For conclusion, my last sentence would be, it doesn't matter if you're young or old or whatever, embrace technology, but keep humanity. Technology will always go on. It won't stop. So I see in my colleagues who are maybe my age or slightly older thinking, no, I'm not. I'm too old for that. I don't know what to do. You're not too old. You have this beautiful experience. You just need digital stardust. And that's this technology. And, yesterday, one of the colleagues said, well, don't be in competition. I mean, competition, so don't worry if somebody gets some job and you don't. That's true, because also in teaching, who says that every student will like me? Probably they won't, or I won't like them. So it's really, every teacher gets the right student. And if you feel it's not the right match, or transfer him or her to a more suitable person, or just give up, because if not, you'll ruin your reputation, because it will go wrong. Your personality clash. It's really hard to do a good job. You can do it, but you won't enjoy it. So, thank you for your attention. As mentioned, my website's here. And I have to say that, I mean, for me, in my opinion, my students are my internal inspiration, and without them, nothing like that would be possible. And before we go to Q&A, I have to tell you something super important, because we forgot about him a little bit. And remember, I mentioned my first beautiful student. Where is he? Here. So what happened to Harry, my first online student? He found his German Traumfrau and is very happy. But this is the Harry method for some other time. So that's it pretty much. And now if there are some Q&As, if I can help in any way, yes, I think I should stop sharing this screen, or what shall I do, John?
You can stop sharing the screen if you like, and then you'll be full screen. So we've got about 5 minutes for a couple of quick questions, and you've had a few. So the first one, in terms of digital stardust, have you used Google Meet, and do you have any views on the Google suite of products?
Yeah, I didn't mention Google products. Sometimes in some courses they are using also this Google Classroom. If you feel comfortable, if your student feels comfortable, great. It's good because it's free, let's say. But, very good. But I will definitely listen to your client, because that's the person paying you. If it's too complicated, they will give up, in my opinion.
I think that's very wise. One of our delegates has asked what your personal CPD goals are for this year or next year. So what are you doing to look after yourself and think about your own development in these difficult times?
Yes, I am definitely educating myself in digital marketing and new platforms. I'm attending several courses, and I am attending voice lessons, because that's my capital. I should know it. because I was trained as an actress in the past, but we forget. So I go back to, let's say, professionals who developed and learn from them.
Could you say a little bit more about how you're looking after your voice? Because I think quite a lot of us have had this problem. You have to project your voice for Zoom and on conferences, and the vocal cords really do take some hammering, don't they? So how do you look after your voice?
So one thing, oops, everything's falling down here. One thing which I intend to do in September, I will definitely, in our German Language Society, I will offer these courses. I will offer sessions, for colleagues, just to remind that you have to look after your voice. If you think of your voice or as part of your body, you have to train your muscles. So it's actually physical work. So you have to warm up before let's say you have lots of conferences. You need at least half an hour to warm up. There are these so-called Alexander exercises. Alexander exercises, you lie on the floor. It's breathing exercise. You embrace your knees. And you focus on your diaphragm, that you project the right voice and stuff. So it's virtually, sport. It's not sport, but it's physical. And
you are effectively a performer, aren't you? You're an elite performer as a teacher. So your tool is your voice. I think that would be a fascinating piece of CPD.
German Language Society, welcome. It's coming, and maybe even in English, because I really think we have to help each other with what we know. And that's something that would help a colleague who really depends, whose income depends on, voice or something. You have to know it, but then you have to do it yourself anyway.
Now, we can probably fit in one more question, which is, have you got any tips for how to transfer a student to a different teacher diplomatically? So this might be someone maybe you're not having exactly the perfect relationship with. How can you move someone on when they're not bringing you joy in your life?
First of all, you have to have nice network, colleagues. So please connect. Maybe we can do something, just connect and share. And then, oh my gosh, it happened to me several times. It's just, that won't end well for anyone. And then basically you have to make sure that whoever is the new teacher, their personality a little bit, and not that you say, okay, take this one and go wherever. No, you have to be fair. Then you ask, listen, I speak with my colleagues super openly. Listen, this colleague, this client is so and so. Would you mind taking over? Maybe you just try a lesson or something. And then to a client, I say, I don't say, listen, we don't match, go away. No, I say, I think the more suitable, teacher for you would be, I don't know, Anna. And she's more suitable because.
We can just fit in one more maybe. If someone is going into digital marketing and wants to write English to German copy, do you have any top tips for someone who is wanting to write in German?
What do you mean wanting to write in German?
In terms of where they might get some guidance on going into digital marketing, resources?
Oh, plenty. Germans are super developed in that sector. Whoever asked that, can you please contact me on this forum and I'll send you, in my opinion, the best few links.
Would it be okay if people contact you on social media?
Sure. They can contact me anywhere.
Perfect. Well, look.
And John, if there is a demand for that, we can easily, set up, one event via German Language Society, and you can come there and ask anything. I can do it in English, doesn't matter.
Brilliant. That's fantastic, Romana. Well, look, thanks ever so much for that. I really brought it to life, and so much possibility now in digital teaching. It's amazing how that's taken off in the last year, but also really interesting to hear your experiences of platforms. They do make a big difference, don't they?
Yeah, you have to know this today. I don't think this will go away, even when we are free to roam around. I don't think it's going.
I think that's right.
And it can make you money.
Yeah.
It can.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, look, lovely to see you, and we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Enjoy.